So notes yesterday, what did we do?
We learned about
Tangent lines, perpendicular lines. Did you remember all the things?
No.
You didn't remember how to write the equation of a line?
No,
I do.
You do. Okay. Y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. Okay, cool. So we're going to finish up. There were a few more examples, yes, only really two, that we didn't really get to, and then we're going to do our notes for today. Okay? So, first one.
you learn from the best.
Okay, we're writing our notes. Here we go. Find values of x where the slope is horizontal for f of x equals x cubed plus 2x squared minus 15x plus 14. Okay, first question. Now notice it's not asking me to write the equation of a tangent line, I'm just finding x values here. But if I want a horizontal slope, think about what I might do. Something equal to 0, what should equal 0?
Y. Z. Y equals to 0.
Okay, y equals 0 is going to give me an x-intercept, is that what I want? I want the slope to be 0. Derivative. Who said it? No, that. Okay, Kevin, you will sneak with the right answer. Okay, so horizontal, I want a 0 slope. And if I want a 0 slope, I'm going to take f prime of x, I'm going to set it equal to 0. So, do it. You have a nice, easy polynomial. We're going to do a trig one next. So, what's the derivative of that guy?
3x.
Okay, 3x squared. 4x is next. Minus 15. What about the 14? 0. Okay, we're setting it equal to 0. We need to factor that. So I'm going to do the little AC chart like McDaniel does. You can do whatever you want. What's 3 times negative 15? Negative 45. And I need things that times to 45 and subtract to 4. Any ideas? 5 times 9 gives me 45. Which way should I subtract? Minus the 5 or minus the 9? Minus the 5, because I need a plus 4 left over in the middle. Then I'm going to divide both of those by 3x, see which one reduces. Or you can do the grouping thing if you like that better. Totally fine. Okay, 5 and 3 won't reduce, but 9 will divide by 3 to be a 3 over x. So my factors are 3x minus 5 and x plus 3. 3x minus 5 and x plus 3. Now, if those are my factors, what are my x values?
Negative third. Negative 3.
Okay, negative 3 for the whole number guy. And then that one I switch the negative 5 to a plus 5, put it over 3. So 5/3. Make sense? Okay, now let's say that you were asked to write the equation of the tangent line at x equals negative 3. Okay, just for fun. Because this is what we do for fun. Okay, what do you need for the equation of a tangent line? You learned it yesterday. 2 things.
Slope and point.
Point and a slope. Good. So point is here. Slope is here. What do I already know about the point? X is negative 3. Okay, what do I still need though? Y value. So where do I find the y value? Plug into the original. Yeah? Not to the derivative, because that's where my slope comes from. So I'm going to do f of negative 3 equals, that'd be negative 3 cubed plus 2 times negative 3 squared minus 15 times negative 3 plus 14. What's negative 3 if I cube it? Positive or negative? Negative 27. Negative 3 squared gives me 9 times 2 is 18. Okay, then I have minus 15 times minus 3. What's that? plus 45. Last one, plus 14. Oh no. This guy and this guy make 32. 32 plus 45 gives me 77. And then I have to minus 27 from that. Just be 50, right? Because the 70s will cross out. Okay, now on the AP test, would they make you do that? Probably not. Maybe, but probably not, right? Okay, so 50 is my y value. Okay, what's my slope? Do I need to find it? It was horizontal.
No.
0.
Slope's already 0. We already know that. Okay, if it was horizontal, then I already know my slope. That was the hint that I had from the beginning. So from there, I do y minus 50 equals 0, x plus 3. Well, what happens if you do 0 times x plus 3?
0.
That all basically crosses out. So if y minus 50 is 0, what does y equal? 50. Okay, and keep in mind, why is it only y equals? Because it's a Hoy. Did y'all do Hoy-Vux?
Yes.
Remember, horizontal, 0 slope, y equals, yeah? Easy? Okay, one more like that, number 2. Okay, we can probably do it in this little space. You're going to find x values on 0 to pi, or we'll say 0 to 2 pi, for f of x equals sine x plus a half x to have a horizontal tangent line. Okay, now first thing I want to point out, horizontal slope, horizontal tangent line, exact same thing. The tangent line tells me the slope, I want it to be horizontal, I want the derivative to equal what? 0. Done. So, take a look at your equation. What's the derivative? So I'm going to put here horizontal, f prime of x equals 0, then solve. Okay, I'm going to just put my steps right there. You can put it or not, up to you. Okay, what's the derivative of this guy? Cosine, positive or negative? Positive cosine x. Oh wait, hold on, no equals there. Then what's the derivative of a half x? Plus a half. And then the x goes away, right? X goes down to 0, and then I set that equal to 0. Okay, how do we solve that guy? Okay, subtract the half across, so now I want cosine x to equal minus a half. Okay, now let's, yes?
What does that say right at the first cosine?
It's cosine x plus a half. I accidentally put an equal sign, that's why it's so ugly. Okay, so from here, on your hand, I want one cosine finger. What finger do I bend? I want one finger on top, so I have to bend this guy. What angle is that? Pi thirds. Okay, so I'm going to put x equals pi thirds. Now, question. I want x to be negative a half. Pi thirds is positive, right? So let's draw our little guy here. All students take calculus. The axis is 3 pi thirds. Where is cosine going to come out to be negative? Well, which two letters? But you're right. S and T. So then if I want to go backwards to S from 3 pi thirds, that'd be 2 pi thirds. And then if I want to go forward into T, that would be 4 pi thirds. So you actually get two values for that one, because one of them is in the S quadrant, one of them is in the T quadrant. Make sense? Kind of? No? Did I ever show you how to do hand trig though, Ebenezer? I did? Okay. Yeah? So then if I want one cosine finger, I have to fold this one. That tells me it's pi thirds. But then I have to pick where cosine will be negative. So in A, they're all positive. I don't want that. Here, sine is positive, cosine's negative. We want that. Tangent, and then here, cosine's positive. I don't want that quadrant. So I pick these two. And then if I go backwards, it'd be 2 pi thirds. And then forward would be 4 pi thirds. Okay? But we're going to do more of that later. So if that overwhelms you, it's okay. No big deal. Okay? Oh, yeah. Well, we're going to cover it so much that eventually you'll get it. Okay, are we ready for the next stuff? So we're pretty much done with yesterday's stuff, just those last two. So they're going to get like a little bit harder, but not really. So this is number 3. I think we actually did one like this yesterday. Write equation of tangent line to f of x equals x cubed minus 5x plus 1 at value in first quadrant. Uh-oh. Where f prime of x equals 7. So here's what's going to happen. You guys have a quiz on Monday. Yes, over this. So I'm going to bring you a candy while you do this question so that I know if you know how to do it. Okay?
Are they expired?
They're not expired. I just bought them. Okay?
This week?
The last 2 days?
Okay? So I want you to just walk me through. I don't want to do it for you because I want you to do it yourself. But what are you going to do first? Okay, well we're going to talk. I'm going to talk about it while I bring you a candy. What do you do first?
Substitute 7.
Okay, what 2 ingredients do you need?
Point and slope.
Point and a slope. What did they give you?
Slope.
The slope is what?
7.
7. Then you need to take the derivative, set it equal to 7. Can you do that?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
so.
Do it. So you're taking the derivative, you're setting it equal to 7. Big. And crippled.
You know the answer. Oh, you came back enough.
Do you want a candy?
No, but then the movie's coming out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Not
That is
scared.
the
You came
creepiest
back
child
just to terrorize her.
story.
Me? I didn't even I just laughed. I can't appreciate funny joke. Is it 2?
Yeah, can you add
It's only the first quadrant, right?
What?
you find it
2, 7. You
Yeah.
know 3x squared.
So
it's probably 2.
you're right.
Yeah.
And then you solve the regular.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you took the derivative, you set it equal. Alex, your x should be squared.
It's 4.
Yeah, because it's
You
2.
get 4.
Okay, from there you should get 2 answers. What are the 2 answers?
Plus or minus 2.
Negative 2 and plus 2. Now, if I want to be in the first quadrant, which one am I going to keep? Plus 2. Okay, then what else do you need? You have the x value, but you need the whole point. So where do you find the other half of the point? Plug it into the original, Kevin. We're doing it. We love to. Oh, you're done. Oh, you little smarty.
This don't look like you just
Okay, there's no house. If it's a candy cane, obviously that shit is old. Okay, just don't pick the candy cane. You have more candy canes up in Santa says you did that.
Is it negative 1?
You're right. I do need to take the
And
candy.
then you plug in 7 to the
Is it negative 1?
I have the video.
Yeah, it is.
Have you seen the
You plug
monkey
in
one?
7 to the original
Yeah,
one.
it says that one.
You set equal to the
So
derivative.
I did that and I got x equal to then I plugged in
Then you
7.
plug the x value of 2 into the original. So you plug in your x is 2, you're going to plug in the original.
I'll show you.
Yeah.
Show me right now.
Yeah.
It's like, there's the original one, and then there's the...
Okay, what's your y value as you're getting it? Negative 1. Put it in. Then you have your point. What's your slope? Do you need to find it?
No, 7.
It's already 7. Your point, your slope is 7. Your x is 2.
Yeah, so I'll give you my Christian Calvary. And I will also throw in $1.
So you
Please tell me you're
so
the teacher
you
now.
already found 2, right? So then you plug the x value into the original.
Miss,
Yeah.
can you say, can he go to do my class and buy my popcorn?
Is that it?
It isn't still very fast.
Yeah. Okay, you should have gotten y plus 1, 7x minus 2. Okay, now you need to solve that for y equals mx plus b. Have you done it yet? Easy, easy. Y plus 1 equals, that's a 1. Distribute the 7. 7x, 7 times minus 2 is minus 14. Then to get rid of the plus 1, you're going to minus it across. And you get 7x minus 14, or 15. Now, quick point just for you to know. On AP, if you put this, you get the point. If it's multiple choice, probably they'd solve it to here. But they're both right. So if it was free response, this would be a perfect FRQ. But if it was multiple choice, they might ask you to do that last step. So there are a couple on your homework where it's multiple choice. It's to make you do that last step. But if they're not multiple choice, you can leave it just like this on your homework.
So it doesn't have to be in slope-intercept?
Correct. This is totally fine if it's free response. Okay? All right, let's do a little parallel, a little perpendicular. Next one. Number 4. Find x values where f of x, 3x squared minus 2x, is parallel to 3 parentheses, y minus 4x equal 9. King, did you go buy the Pop-Tart? Yeah, you can go. Don't pick a gross kind, or I'm going to judge you.
Give me one.
If you get strawberry, you're dead to me.
But what?
Nasty. Y'all are all nasty.
Wait, what do you like?
But you like no frosting.
Huh? I actually don't like Pop-Tarts. But if I did, I wouldn't pick that kind. Like the lady at my donut shop, she always throws in extra strawberry donut holes, just like as a treat, and I'm always like, I want to be like, look, I know they're free, but can you just make them chocolate? And just throw them away every time. Feel bad. Okay, what do you know about parallel lines?
They have the same slope.
Okay, they need to have equal slopes. So what that means is, I'm going to sketch a little picture here. Okay, x squared is like this. So I need to know where my line is. Let's say my line's like here, right? Then I would see, oh, this is where my tangent line is parallel, right? That's what we want. So what are we going to do if we want equal slopes? Take the derivative, set them equal. Okay, so now before I can do that, I need to fix this line, because that's not going to work. So if I have 3y minus 4x equals 9, what would I do first to solve? Don't say distribute. Divide by 3. Now you could distribute, but it's going to make you have extra steps for no reason. So divide the 9 by 3. Y minus 4x is 3. Last step. Get y by itself. Yeah, add the 4x, so it's 4x plus 3. So far, so good? Okay, what's the slope of that line? The slope is 4. Now, quick point here. If you took the derivative of 4x plus 3, what would you get? 4. So you can think about y equals mx plus b if you like that better, or just take the derivative. They give you the same answer.
Wait, the slope, okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So if you can't do the, like, if you can't do the derivative,
Uh-huh.
like, you get one single number, we can just put that as the answer?
Uh-huh.
Alright,
Yeah. So the slope of my line here is 4. Well, then I want to know where on the quadratic is my slope also 4. So I'm going to take the derivative, and I'm going to set f prime of x equal to 4, and then I'm going to solve. Because if I want it to be parallel, I need the exact same slope. So what is the derivative of 3x squared minus 2x? Okay, 6x minus 2, and then equal to 4. Okay, what do we do first?
Plus 2.
Plus the 2. 4 plus 2 is 6x equals 6, then x equals 1. Good. Oops. Okay, now, let's say, change up the instructions, same two equations, but now I want to find x values where f of x is perpendicular.
You take the reciprocal.
Good. To the line. Okay, so same exact two equations, but now I want to be perpendicular. My original slope was 4. Now I'm going to show you a notation, hopefully you remember. This means perpendicular slope. So if my original slope was 4, what is my perpendicular slope? Negative a fourth. And if I want to know when my slope equals that, I'm going to take my derivative, set it equal to that. Yeah? So I'm going to let my 6x minus 2 be equal to negative a fourth. Now let's talk strategies for getting rid of that fraction. What could you do?
Yeah, you did multiply.
Yep, times everything by 4. Now if you just love fractions, you can leave it. Okay, but no. So 6 times 4 is 24x. 4 times minus 2 is a minus 8, and now that side's just a minus 1. Because the 4 and the 4 cancel out. Then I'm going to add my 8 across. What do I get? Okay, 7. So I have 24x equals 7. Divide by 24. X equals 7 over 24. Got it? Okay, so parallel lines, same slope. Perpendicular lines, opposite reciprocal slope. Okay, let's do one with an ln. Oh yeah, I do. I love it.
She loves those reactions.
I was lost. I was lost on my own nose.
Well, did you ask a friend for help?
I came in the
She
morning.
hates strawberries.
Guess what happened?
Mental illness.
I hate strawberries and I like math. Now
Locked
what?
up in the ward. Sick.
Wow.
One day, told me like this.
Free Mr. Black Chinese.
Like when I was in middle school, I would teach my little sister math just for fun.
You know what I did for fun? Because I'm the little sister between me and Kate. We would fight and argue.
Wait, I thought you were
We
twins.
are twins.
She was just born minutes before.
She's 30 seconds old.
Oh.
She hangs it over my head all the time.
Wow.
I saw how.
But I guess the 30 seconds made it crucial where I'm smarter than her.
Wow.
The 30 extra seconds of brain power. Yep.
You almost killed her, so you know.
Yeah, I know.
You almost killed her?
Yeah, in the womb, we had twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome, which means I was sucking all the nutrients out of the, and like cutting her off, and so.
So was she like preemie? And you were fat?
No, we're both. I was 3 pounds, 9 ounces. Kaylin was 3 pounds 4 ounces.
Oh, okay. Y'all were pretty close then. I was thinking like parasitic twin, you know. Like you were like eating all of her nutrients. Okay, ready? Parallel, what do you do? Okay, come on, Ebenezer, what do I do?
Okay, so you,
Whoa. Okay, I want them to be parallel. What do we know about parallel, Ebenezer? Same slope, that means I'm setting what equal? F prime of x equal to y prime. I'm setting the derivatives equal. Now, can I take the derivative of y when it's all jumbled up? No, so we're going to have to fix it. So 2y minus 8x is the first thing I'm going to fix. What do I do first? Okay, I'm going to actually add the 8x across first, but you could divide by 2 first if you want. Okay, so 8x plus 10, scooch it over. Then divide by 2, what does y equal? 4x plus 5. Now, what's the slope of that line? 4. I want to be parallel to 4. Then what do I need to do? Take the derivative, set it equal to 4. Got it? Okay, so take the derivative here. Good job, Jenny. Okay, derivative of ln x is 1 over x. What's the derivative of plus 2x? Plus 2. Okay, this is f prime of x. And then I'm setting it equal to the slope of the line, which was 4. So 1 over x plus 2, how do we solve? Subtract the 2 across. Then 1 over x equals just a 2 over there. And then I'm going to reciprocal both sides. 1 over x reciprocaled is x. 2 over 1 reciprocaled is a half. Now let's say we want it to be perpendicular. Okay, so we'll make it part B. Good. Or wait, what? You want to be perpendicular to 4.
Oh.
Yeah? So, perpendicular slope. Part B, perpendicular. I'm keeping the exact same derivative, but rather than a slope of 4, what perpendicular slope do I want? Negative a fourth. Okay? So, I'm going to take my same derivative, which is 1 over x plus 2. I'm going to set equal to minus a fourth. You got options here. Do we want to get rid of the fraction?
Yes.
What can we times by? 4. So I'm going to times by 4 all the way across. Now, is that going to kill my x fraction? No, that's just going to be a 4 over x now, but that's okay. What's my plus 2 now? 8. What's my minus a fourth now? Negative 1. Yeah? Then from there, I'm going to minus my 8 across. What's negative 8 from minus 1? 4 over x equals negative 9. Then I'm going to reciprocal both sides. So, instead of 4 over x, now it's x over 4. Instead of negative 9, now it's 1 over 9, still negative. It does not matter if you put the negative down with the 9, nobody cares. It can go in the front, it can go on the top, it can go on the bottom. As long as it's there, that's all that matters. Last step, times by 4. And negative 1/9 multiplied by 4 is? Good. Negative 4/9. Good job. You did it. 2 more left. Only 2 more.
I don't know how to register this one right here.
Register what?
This is my brain.
Do you need a minute?
Yes.
Yes, I need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I use the restroom.
You may. 39. We have till 51. Ebenezer, do you have a question in your mind, or you're just feeling overwhelmed? Okay.
Just picking up a monkey. Yes, wait. No, the edit.
I'm going to write the next question, and then I'll wait.
How come when my phone's not near me, it buzzes? When my phone's near me, nothing comes up on my phone.
Ooh, I don't know.
It's like my phone haunts me.
Bruh. I know she's gonna. Okay. I'm not gonna comment. Say it right there, bro. You don't even know what I was gonna say. Yes, I do. What is it? I got the same mind. What was I gonna say? Exactly what you were gonna say. The break. You know what? The break.
Is it La Brea? I've been saying it La Brea. Did you notice? Huh? Okay.
What? No.
Okay, 10 seconds of break. Ebenezer, how's your brain?
Yeah, that's good.
It's good. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. First thing I want you to do, okay, aside from the problem, I'm going to come down to the bottom. I'll bring this back up. Okay, if I draw for you a tangent line, okay, just we'll say it's cubic, whatever, okay, and draw a tangent line right here. There are 2 things that have to be true about an equation to be tangent to a curve. The first one, what about their slopes? Equal slopes, very good. So a tangent line has the same slope, has the same slope as the curve. So what does that mean in terms of like calculus-y stuff? F prime equals y prime, yeah? So f prime of x equals y prime of x. Okay, second thing, the graphs have to be touching. So not only do the slopes have to be the same, but they have to share the same point. That means that they share the same y value. So, also, same y value. So point overlaps. It has to be a point on both graphs for it to touch the graph. Does that make sense? So not only do the derivatives have to be the same, what else has to be the same? The y values, which is the originals. So f of x has to equal y as well. So the derivatives have to be equal, and the originals have to be equal for it to be tangent. So come up to your little guy up here at the top. Do y'all need to write this down, or you got it? Okay? So if it's tangent, the derivatives should be equal and the originals should be equal. So what do you think I'm going to do first? If I set these guys equal to each other, how many unknown letters am I going to have? How many? What are the two values? X and K. Now, if I set those equal, that's not enough. I have two letters. What about if I take the derivatives? How many unknowns will there be? One. Where's K going to go?
Away.
Constant, gone. So, number one, I'm going to set f prime of x equal to y prime. That's going to eliminate one of my constants. What is f prime if that's my f? 3x squared. Plus k goes away. K is a constant. K derivative of 3/4 x? 3/4. Let's solve. I'm going to times by a third on both sides to cross out that 3. Third and 3 cross out. X squared equals what? What's that? Well, the 3's can actually cancel out. One's on top, one's on bottom. What's left over? A 4th. From there, square root. And x equals what? Okay, square root the top and the bottom though. It's just a regular fraction, a half. Square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2. So those are my two values, but x greater than 0. Which one am I going to pick?
Positive.
Positive a half. So x equals a half. Now, that tells me that my derivative is equal to the right thing at that point. What else has to be the same? Not just the derivatives, but the originals, or the y values. Very good. So after I do that, step number 2, I'm going to set f of x equal to y. But those are the originals. So f of x is x cubed plus k, and then 3/4 x. Now, where do they have to be the same at? What x value? A half. So that's a half cubed plus k, and that's 3/4 of a half. Now, this is going to work out pretty convenient for us because our denominators end up matching. What is a half if I cube the top and the bottom? 1 cubed is 1, 2 cubed is 8, plus k. And then on the other side, fractions, you times the tops and the bottoms, what do you get? 3/8. So if it's 1/8 plus k, how do I get rid of the 8th? Minus the 8th. And then k equals 3/8 minus 1/8, which is 2/8 or 1/4. Okay, now real quick, we're going to draw our little graph, okay, to match this picture. So the first thing that I want you to do is draw x cubed, just like that. Next thing that I want you to do is I want you to draw 3/4 x. How would that be sloped, up or down? Up. So this is y equals 3/4 x. So far, so good? Okay, how many places does the slope on the cubic match that slope?
1.
Twice. Where does it match? At a half and at negative a half, right? Okay, but what was my k that I had to plus to the x cubed? A fourth. So look, watch. If I graph y equals x cubed plus a fourth, what that's going to do to my cubic graph is it's going to bump it up to where it ends up perfectly touching my little curve and being tangent. So let me draw it one more time so it looks better. Here's your straight line, and then my cubic is here, and it goes kiss. Get it? And where do they kiss at? A half. Now, is it still tangent over here at negative a half? Sure. Okay, but I have to bump it up so that it perfectly kiss. Okay, this side of the graph. Got it? Okay, we have one more example we have to do like that, but we don't have time. So you're going to write it down. We're going to do it on Monday. Okay?
I don't have to take the quiz, right?
Oh, you're taking it. We're going to actually probably have to take the quiz on Tuesday since we didn't finish.
I will take that.
Okay, write it down though. Find value of b. Last one, we'll do it on Monday. So that f of x equals 2x squared plus bx is tangent to 3x minus 8.
Are you still recording?
Yep.
Hi, Kaylin.
Well, I'm going to do the notes, but I only send this to whoever's absent. Okay? So this is for next time. What number is it? 7. Okay, last thing I need to just tell you, on Monday we're going to be registering for some stuff. Will you bring your Chromebook? Yes? Okay, for like total registration, I need you to join my little classroom on College Board. What'd you say, Libria? Oh, I need your homework.